Rob Kendall speaking with Brian Woodard, the head coach of the Plainfield Quakers. Coach, big win on Friday night. You got to be super pleased with the result.
Yeah, no question. Everything this fall has certainly lived up to our motto, being the hard way. It's been a challenge. We spoke the Parameridian week, a game that was felt in hand. Got really interesting. This past Friday with Greenwood, it was nice to have a game that we were in control of from the start to the very last whistle, and take nothing away from Greenwood. They fought and they battled, but we were the better team on that night and handled all the things that we needed to handle in order for us to be successful.
Well, let's start with, obviously, anytime you put up 43 points, you want to talk about that. But, man, I'll tell you what, second week in a row, the defense has played really well. You basically gave up 7 2 weeks ago, even though 14 was scored. 7 was on a kickoff return, only giving up 14 points again this past Friday night. Defense has played pretty well the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm very proud of our defensive staff, Coach Stewart, who is our defensive coordinator. Coach Bless also helps defensive back wise, and Coach Coleman and Coach Sloan, Coach Minton. That group of individuals does an outstanding job preparing our guys every week. But part of that is our guys are responsive to the coaching, and front end of the defense continues to be just lights out. We got to get some of the big play issues ironed out on the back end. But those are correctable things. And, one of the things we talk about with our DBs is having good eye discipline. And, that can be really challenging when you're back there on the back end and you see a team run the ball, they run the ball, and all of a sudden they run, post, and you have to have your eyes in the right spots, but that's fixable. That's trainable. And I know our back end will continue to improve, but defense played really well. And want to see that continue to go that direction.
Obviously, offensive side of the ball, season high 43 points. Tough to find any flaws when you're putting up 43 points.
Yeah, a lot of. You look statistically, a lot of really, really good things. One player individually that I thought really stood out Friday, and that was Noah Hessong. Noah was on the shelf at Perry with a concussion, but Noah comes back and had just shy of 200 total yards. So that was great getting to see him do a lot of what we envisioned back in the summertime, which was spend a little time at wide receiver, be a solid catcher of the ball there, be a great blocker there in our screen game, and then be able to hand the ball to you 10 to 15 times a game as well. And that's exactly what happened on Friday. He did all those things. So super, super excited for Noah. We're able to get our complement of offensive linemen back in the spots that I originally wanted them in back in June, and got to get, those guys working together. So a lot of really good things coincided there Friday for us offensively, and it was just a lot of fun to watch our kids go out and play. That was probably the coolest thing about the game. A lot of smiles, a lot of high fives, a lot of good things going on Friday night.
Yeah, it's really weird because it seems like year after year after year, it has been the injury bug mid-season, late season that has hurt you guys. Now, in a weird way, knock on wood, it's like the reverse of this, where you're getting guys back as you're heading into the key part of the season.
You hope so, right? We discussed that a little bit on last week's show, talking about the, not struggles, but how difficult it can be sometimes to plan practices where, you got to get work done. You can't just say, hey guys, we'll see you Friday at 7, where, you're trying to keep guys healthy. So now that we've got guys back, and, I'm just about ready to, as soon as I get off here with you, we're going to get into our staff meetings. That's going to be number one, and I talked about it Saturday with our coaches. I said, how good did that feel as a football coaching staff to look at our sideline on Friday at 7:00 and know that, hey, we're at full strength? Man, what a great feeling, to know that you're not going into a game with one hand tied behind your back and you're having to manufacture ways, to get things done. So we want to stay healthy for sure, because, and you mentioned it, you talk about coming into a stretch of the season. Oh, baby. I mean, it's going to get. I mean, not to take anything away from Perry or Greenwood and some of the teams that we played already. I mean, obviously Mooresville was a ranked team. Weeks 1 and week 2 ranked, but I mean, this is a gauntlet. And it's going to start this week with Decatur Central. So it's going to be important for us to stay healthy for sure.
Feels like your team has a lot of momentum right now. And again, I'm not just saying that because you've won 2 games in a row. You've won them in dominant fashion. You're getting these players back, as we talked about. It feels like a lot of things are starting to line up for Plainfield football that maybe, as we said, the past couple of years, there might have been a strong start and then somebody, got hurt or somebody's got hurt. It seems like there's a lot of momentum with the football team right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, I think it's pretty easy to pinpoint, when you're having fun and it's easier to come to practice. When you're winning, it's easier to come to practice. And when you practice a certain way, generally your product on Friday is improved. And I think it all kind of fits together, and it's like, when you look at an overall program, and I go way back, to 15 years ago, when your program is rolling and every week is a win and it's just things are just easier. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. And guys that have been involved with things, I mean, it's the same thing with families, when money's coming in and you don't have to worry about the bills and you don't have to worry about this or that or getting little Susie to daycare or whatever. Things are just easier. Life is better. And it's not a whole lot different in a football program when you're having some success in certain areas. Sometimes that makes everything else just a little bit easier. Doesn't cure all the problems, right? There's still people that aren't happy. And, I got coaches that are, they're not happy about this, that, or the other. I mean, there's still issues you have to deal with, but they're just easier to overcome, I think.
Did you mentioned 15 years ago, those first 3, 4, maybe even 5 years were pretty strong out of the gate for you as a head coach. Did you think, man, it'll always be this easy, or were you fully aware, hey, it's not always going to be this easy?
Great question. Coaches live in such a week-to-week world, a year-to-year world, at least for me. I never even looked down the line to think about what it might be like. However, I was part of, Coach Schwanekamp's staff, and yeah, we went to a state championship game, but when they all came on board in 1996, I mean, they got beat like 73-3 against Brownsburg, and I mean, and maybe in a game like that against Avon when I was there in 97 with that early staff. So, I mean, I had seen some really difficult times. But, in those days we were growing, we were getting better. We saw a light at the end of the tunnel, and with that in the tunnel eventually ended in a state finals appearance. But so, yeah, I knew that, hey, you better make hay while you've got the guys, while you have those opportunities. And I think the thing that I probably did the worst, and this is, a lot of coaches will tell you this, I didn't enjoy those years and I didn't enjoy those victories probably as much as I should have. But, that comes with getting older and having a little perspective and having a little humility.
Let's thank our sponsors to make Plainfield football broadcast possible: CCB Contracting, Geodis, Ganell Financial, Julia Burrich of Remax Centerstone, Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield, mortgage lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley Fairway Mortgage, Bailey and Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, My IT Indy at myitindy.com, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. All right, let's take a look ahead to this Friday night. We're back at home, chance to get back to 500. It's Decatur Central. They have been really tough. It seems like the past, 5 or 6 years especially, but maybe not the same Decatur Central team we've seen in years past. What do they bring to the table?
Well, they're good. There's no doubt about that. I mean, when you kind of alluded to something there, are they as good as they were, this year or that year? Here's what I will say. I'm very happy that there's not an individual on their roster with the last name of Tracy, who those dudes over the years have been a thorn in everybody's side in the Mid-State Conference. So anytime you take the field and you don't have one of those guys suiting up for DC, you're in a better situation. Their group is a very young group for them. I think their offensive line, I would say, in terms of experience, is probably one of the lesser experienced offensive lines They've been dealing with some injury issues, which always, from a game planning perspective, that'll factor in a little bit. Very impressed with their defense. That's the one thing that, this Decatur Central team, and again, not trying to compare year to year. I mean, I'm looking at these guys like this is the same old DC kind of group of incredibly talented edge rushers, big, strong, physical guys in front that are hard to move off the ball. Defensive backs that are going to get up in your face. They're going to press you. They're going to play man cover. If you can't beat man cover and if you can't get off the press coverage, you're in trouble, and so to me, defensively for them, they are they're just as good as they ever were, just maybe inexperienced at some other places offensively.
It seemed like I said, at least the past, man, maybe it's been longer than this, but 5 years or so, you feel like you got to score 50 points to beat these guys. It's probably a little bit of a relief to realize, man, we can play a pretty traditional game this year and probably have, a good chance to win the football game if we execute.
Yeah. I mean, I think, in any time in any football game, if you're not able to handle your business and you get into one of those situations where a team just gets on a roll, or you create turnovers or those kind of things. I think this game is no different from that. If we don't handle our business with respect to that, we could be in a situation where it's flip-flopped to what we were at Greenwood. But, what we need to do, and we talk about playing a traditional game, we're good enough to go and do our things. We don't have to try to manufacture offense. We don't have to try to manufacture little tweaks or wrinkles defensively. We just need to go out and play. That's it. Just go play, and that sounds really, simple to say, well, wow, coach, you get paid to tell kids, just go play. Yeah, that's right. Just go play, take the coaching that you get during the week and just go play. Don't reinvent anything on Friday night. Don't all of a sudden think, well, hey, I know coach told me to play this at 12, but I'm going to go ahead and play it at 8. Just play. And our guys are good enough. We use a phrase a lot of times is all we got is all we need. And that's true in a lot of ways. So I'm excited to have a chance to play in this game. Like you say, we get to come back home. We've not won it, been in a place yet. We've won at home this year. It's homecoming week. So, I don't know whether that's good or bad. I don't know if homecoming means anything to anybody anymore like it used to, but we're excited to get a chance to play and play a great opponent in Decatur Central.
You ever done the math over the years of what you make an hour coaching high school football? Is it more than, say, 33 cents?
Less, a lot less, because you have to factor in the off season. So, but yeah, no, I don't. Someone told me that a long time ago. Don't ever try to figure out what your hourly is in coaching. And yes, sir, will do.
Hey, let's real quick again thank our sponsors: CCB Contracting, Geodis, Ganell Financial, Julia Burbridge of Remax Centerstone Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield, mortgage lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley Fairway Mortgage, Bailey & Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, My IT Indy and MyITIndy.com, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. All right, Coach, before we get out of here, as we always do, someone or someone's behind the scenes that make Plainfield football what it is, but don't always get a lot of credit.
Well, I'm going to I don't know if I've ever done this before. I probably should have before now, but man, I just want to thank you, for we talk about all the time, all the years we've been doing this show. We've developed a pretty good back and forth, pretty good rapport and gotten to know each other, outside of the show just a little bit. And I get to enjoy a lot of, from afar, your successes, and we're really proud of you for the things that you've done and just, you being part of this whole football family and football experience has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the heck out of doing this show. One of the things that I will miss a great deal is doing this show, because it's been a lot of fun getting to talk to you about our program and about our players. So thank you. And, always appreciate you.
That is so nice, Coach. And you know how humble I am. So I will not let that go to my head at all that you did that today.
And you can't tape record that and use that in any way, shape, or form. This is just for the show.
well, I've got a career in radio, Coach. So I assume every day that I go to work, it'll be the last day. So I'll always be needing a reference of some sort. So I appreciate that. Coach, thank you so much. That was so kind of you. We love doing these games all these years. And let's get a big win on Friday night. We'll look forward to talking to you next Monday.
You bet you, brother. We'll do.